Good morning. How are you? Yes, I think I have everything perfect. So, how's your day going? Okay, that's that's good. Glad to. Okay, that's okay. I I do hear you. I don't hear you as well as I want to hear you. I don't know. I Yeah, I do too. Yes. Yes. I'll make sure I have the Bluetooth volume up. Yeah, I got that up. Headsets up. Yes. No, we should be okay. I don't hear myself. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, good. Distance. Okay, it's streaming right now, so we're okay. We can start our broadcast very shortly. So I hit streaming. So I guess we can start a couple of minutes early. And if you have time tomorrow, give me a call so we can go over everything before we go see Matt and what we want to do. Okay, sounds good. Okay, we've been streaming for a couple of minutes, and I want to welcome everybody to Sports Saturday here on another Saturday. It's Today's date is July 18th. Am I correct, Jeff? And a lot of things going on, as I had mentioned to Jeff. Going back and forth. We're going to start with the big soccer game at MetLife Stadium. You know, they'll say New Jersey Stadium or New York Stadium. I'm not sure what they're calling it, but I know they can't say MetLife Stadium. Okay, so New York is the same name, and luckily nobody in New Jersey had any problems with that. So it should be an unbelievable soccer game between two powers that got their different ways. The team from Argentina had to sweat it out. They were trailing England one nil, as they call it, not one nothing, but 1-0, and got two goals in the last basically 15 minutes of the game when England went back into a shell. And Spain did just a great job throughout the tournament. They were very methodical. Had a 2-0 win over France, who was a lot of everybody's favorites, including my own. Yes, they had 6 wins, one draw, no losses, 13 goals to one. They just, like I said, they had pretty easy bracket beating Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. And when the knockout stage, they just were so methodical, beating Austria, Portugal, and Belgium, and then, of course, beating France 2-0. You can tell our listeners what that's all about because you're more into it than I am. And they're going to play against each other. That's awesome. So 3 o'clock tomorrow should be an awesome event. The ratings should be through the roof on for Fox TV, and I'm really looking forward to watching it. I am rooting for Spain, but like I said, whoever wins. It's not going to. I have no shackles on it or anything, but it just should be a great game. Well, you see the key to the game. Yes, I think I just solved my problem. I can hear myself real good. Up top, it was in number two, not number one. That would do it every time. So now I feel better. Yeah, I think a lot of people felt England went into a shell after they got that 1-0 lead, and they kept on substituting defensive players and had, just face it, the last 25 minutes of the game had no offense hardly at all. A couple rushes, but everything down was down there, and their goalie stood in their head for a while. I give him all the credit in the world. No, they didn't, and like I said, give them Messi credit. That winning goal, that pass, the header into the net was, it was like a hockey game in a little bit, like setting somebody up right in front of the net. Yeah, like it was just perfect. And the goalie had no chance. And like I said, it was two different games. Like I said, it was 45 minutes, and then there was 70 minutes of England playing really good soccer in the last 20 minutes. It was all Argentina, and it should, like you said, that picture tells 1,000 words. You're talking about Messi and Verdi. Like I said, two superstars. One that I don't know if he's at the end of his career or just a savvy veteran against the young and up and coming nat- international star. I think so. Like you said, North America, all the stadiums were in place. As everybody knows, all the venues in the United States, and we all know Toronto did a great job, and Vancouver. They had great looking stadiums, and the same thing for Mexico. That's what you sent me for my birthday present. I thought just recently. It was a blank check, fill in up to six figures, and have a good time, Jack. Thank you, Jeff. That was very nice of you. Well, my mother mentioned that last night. Going, these people coming over from overseas, going from place to place, hotel to hotel, flight to flight, entertainment dollar. It seems like, you watch Philadelphia and New York news, they sure didn't hold back celebrating after the game. They didn't go back to their hotel rooms and be a wallflower. They were having a good time. So, yeah, go ahead. How do you get off from work? No, it's an amazing thing. Like I said, so it's going to be a great game tomorrow, and can't wait to watch it. And I'll be going back and forth. The Phillies and Mets are on. The second half, I'll watch the whole thing, no matter what happens. And I expect a 2-1 score. I'm not sure who's going to have the two, who's going to have the one, but I'll go out on a limb and pick Spain. Yes. So, yeah, Jeff, we just tell our fine sponsors, Palmer Trophy and Awards, Regal Insurance. They appear right in the screen. You're looking at it. Fleck Roofing, Marblehead, Berkshire Hathaway Rollers, College Hill Tavern, Giacomo's, Kelly Nissan, and Urco all make this possible. And we'll be getting very shortly ready. Six sleeps from last night. We'll be in Doylestown for the East End Red Rovers opening game. Well, definitely a live audio, but like it. Yep, and video we hope to also. Last time we had to find a hotspot down there, so we'll have to be prepared for that. That was 2 years ago, but we got on the air no problem. So you never, we made it work, and we'll make it work this time. So that's August 28th, a week later this year, because Labor Day falls late, and 8 Friday nights will be in business, and we even have a Thursday night for you in October 1st, I believe, up in Swiftwater, and I think September 19th will be a Saturday night in Bethlehem School District Stadium. And for you Rover fans, you go to Doylestown, and you go to Bethlehem 3 times, and you go to Swiftwater once. That's your geographic menu for the year. And the students may not be able to go because they're academics. Every parent treats things differently, so we can help them out too. Maybe should be interesting. So every the Rovers have 3 starters back. I saw Coach Matt Seneca last week, and part of the Eastern Alumni Association, and Mikey Fleming is you know one of the best offensive line coaches in the Lehigh Valley, if not the best. So yeah, I may work cut out, but we'll be there. We'll show them. So they're optimistic. They really are. Yeah. Yeah, at 10:30 this morning, I'm going to have Mark Wogenrich on from Sports Illustrated, and he covers Penn State football. You're talking about getting a program that first day. With all the transfers, I did some homework last night. Whoa, there's a number of transfers. Yeah, yeah, and don't say figure that one out because the young man made himself a great football player. So that's a feel good story. And Rovers have Foreman and McPeak back in the secondary, and they got Judd Kossover playing some linebacker and some H-back tight end. That's the Rovers 3 starters returning. So the rest of the positions are open up. The late Yaya McGurn's son is right now running number 1 at quarterback, and I hear he's had a good offseason. I predict he'll be the quarterback, but I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Seneca puts in some packages inside the red zone for McPeak. Four, yes. Yeah, McGurn started most of the JV games. He was the backup quarterback last year, so I'm sure, and I hear he's working hard. Jeff, turning to wrestling before I let you go in 5 minutes. A young man from Northampton won a state title, national title in Fargo wrestling. Mr. Renrich. Yeah, isn't that fantastic? I, I saw that we're going to qualify 7 from districts to regionals. Correct. Even doing that, correct. Right. And double A's going 4 to 5. So, the team from Harrisburg still 2A, Bishop McDevitt. So that will be the top 2 teams in Double A right now. If you're looking at it, Faith Christian, they have a they have a new coach also. Faith Christian, I'm not sure they named it yet. Yes, and Coach Clymer stepped down. And, as of last week, my sources told me, as of last Thursday night, that Notre Dame High School had no applicants for their head wrestling job. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know Notre Dame's really improving their campus, doing a lot of hard work, just like Wilson High School just broke ground the other night at Smithfield. They're going to have lights for the first time ever, but they're going to play a couple games at Cottingham this year, 2 games at Caddy as a home team, and 1 game at Saucon Valley. So they have a mixed bag. So yeah, Notre Dame and Wilson High School are both improving their facilities, and it would shock me Notre Dame would take a step back. But if they can't get the right coach, Matt Veers, if I like him, if you like him or not fond of him, he did a great job in the years at Green Pond. And if they don't have a coach yet, as I had mentioned real quick, and I'll let you go in 2 minutes, is that, if you're a sophomore or freshman, if you're living in the Bethlehem, Easton, Nazareth area, there's 3 doors wide open for you. You got Bethlehem Catholic, of course, up the street. You got Nazareth to your north, and you got Easton to your east. Those young men, want some kind of direction on their postseason programs, what they're doing. I don't even know if Coach Ferris is helping out just as an advisor to his kids he left or not. Yeah, because Easton was a little bit different with Coach Karam and Coach Keener. They had a great working relationship, and Coach Karam always could rely on Corey Keener to, direct the troops during the summer. Because Jody has a hectic schedule off the mat, and that was ideal. Even in last year when Corey became the official head coach, in that interim, 6 to 8 week period before it became official, Coach Keener was in the wrestling room every day with the kids. So I just wonder what's happening with Notre Dame, that way. Okay, so I'm going to let you go. You have a busy day. And let's plan to talk after the soccer game tomorrow night, okay? Let's get on to it, and we'll prepare ourselves for the great meeting with Dr. Baltz on Monday. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for coming on. Bye-bye. Jeff Achensing, my partner in JAJL Sports, and we're going to call Jude Son up very shortly and talk to him, and we'll talk a little bit different subjects with him. We might hit the World Cup real quick and see what Jude's prediction is, but we'll go from there.
Hey, Jack.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Any deliveries yet?
Yeah, we're all good.
Oh, great. That's awesome. That's great news for you.
Divided
Until 10 o'clock, and then you'll have to go to work before, if it does rain today. Who knows what the forecast will happen? We have no idea. Yeah. Well, Jeff Achensing and I were just talking about the game 3 o'clock tomorrow. We'll talk briefly with you about that right away. Argentina with Messi against Spain with their superstar Verdi, and you follow soccer with your daughter, who's a superb player. Julia's his daughter, Jude's, who plays for Nazareth High School as a striker, and so Jude follows a lot more soccer than I do. But Jude, just looking at it, I just as a novice, I'm picking Spain 2-1 tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. I mean, Spain is a very good team, and maybe they don't get the amount of attention that they deserve on the world stage because, they obviously superstar Verdi is very young. They play a certain system in which that, like, they're usually never out of position, and that system, benefits them. But I don't think that much attention. Now, here's the thing. I mean, England should have beaten Argentina. They just went with the old, as we used to say back in the Eagles fans, the prevent defense that always used to put the screw to the Eagles as they tried to just, prevent points from being scored in the fourth quarter. And I remember very vividly in my youth, like blowing many, many of these games because of that idea. And that's what England did.
Yes.
They went ahead and they decided that they were going to play prevent defense for the last, 20 minutes of the game. And as soon as they did that, I said, they're going to lose. It just isn't going to work. Argentina's too good. So I think Spain plays a good. They play a solid game and continue to put the pressure on, and don't just sit back and let Argentina,
Dictate.
go around. I think they have a good shot at it.
Yeah, the England goalie did a great job, but you knew it was going to happen sooner or later, and it happened soon, and it happened later. Like I said, they tied it up, and a lot of people thought it was going to go to overtime, and England then lost all their momentum, and Argentina just kept on peppering the net.
Right, and the difference between soccer and say for example football or American sports, the difference is that he actually subbed in to play. They couldn't get off because they were taken out. Their offensive firepower and had to sit back for 5 minutes. And, so I think it's. I thought it was dominated Argentina. But hey, the other thing is you just sit down things offensively. You can move that. You can move the ball like I've never seen.
Yeah, that winning goal with that pass, it reminded me a little bit of ice hockey, as I had mentioned. The perfect pass right in front of the net, and the header was perfect. It was just a thing of beauty. I wish I could see it more. I wish we could see like more 4-3 games with those kind of passes and make it a little bit more exciting for the public. But North America has done a great job hosting it. And Jeff and I also talked. My mother had mentioned it last night. She says, "Where do they get all this money to travel from hotel to hotel, plane flight to plane flight, going out and partying?" It's an amazing, the countries how they support their teams, and they must have stored up their vacation for every 4 years because I know you couldn't get off for 6 weeks and do what you if you had somebody playing.
Well, I mean, right. I mean, I think that, yeah, for many of these countries, and it's not, unfortunately, it's not in America, but this is a major, major, major event. I mean, like, I mean, when have you ever seen a situation in, say, football or baseball or whatever, like, if the Phillies make it to, the NLCS and lose in a game seven, that you'll fire the coach,
Right.
if you make it to a World Series, you get fired. However, that's exactly how big this is for other countries. I mean, I would be surprised that England doesn't fire their coach as soon as this game's over today. And hey, they've had a tremendous run. So, but now the other thing is that what's different about soccer than other sports here is that FIFA, which may or may not be one of the most corrupt organizations in the world, that they allow the countries to offer tickets. Now in America, capitalism, we just overcharge. I mean, the cost of tickets you see is like $50,000. Some of the cheapest seats I think for the final, I looked earlier this week, were like $10,000 a piece. The countries get an allotment of tickets, and they sell them at their prices. So in many of these countries, the tickets aren't nearly as expensive as America charges, for being here. So they do save a little bit of money for that.
Yeah, so should be a great game tomorrow, 3 o'clock on Fox Sports. So, like I said, not the regular Fox network, I should say. So people are listening, they can get it on their regular Fox channel, either in Philadelphia or New York. And it should be a great day of soccer. And in the meantime, Jude and I will be watching some golf and some baseball in the meantime.
Yeah, we'll be watching all of it. I mean, I'll certainly tune in. Zach, it's funny you said that real quick. I mean,
Mom?
before we shift, I do think,
Mom?
there needs to be. So I don't necessarily need to see
Golf should be on
soccer
Channel
to a
10.
degree. I think like
Golf should be on Channel 10.
game, who won, what even what. I think the biggest problem America without soccer is the offside rule because there's so many goals just disallowed. Because of offside. It would be nice to be
So again,
but,
you can't settle a quarrel peaceably.
Yes. I wonder, hockey has a red line. They have two blue lines if they would ever consider making another line. So you could follow.
yeah, like for example, hockey league, you get I think it's a different type of sport. And now with technology, you see more than ever goals offside. Now we're waiting every 10 years for the referees to stretch if they not catch the little fingernail that's offside. So yeah, they can certainly tweak that in some areas.
Well, we'll wait and see what happens. We'll talk some baseball and football with you at 10:30. And we'll have Mark Wogenrich on from Sports Illustrated and talk about Penn State. I did some work about Penn State football last night. All the transfers and all that. It's going to be got some good transfers even outside their system, and they have an easy schedule. Not an easy schedule, but they have a schedule to their liking because there's no Indiana on it, there's no Ohio State on it, and there's no Oregon on it. So three of the top teams in the top 10 in the nation will not be in Penn State's schedule. Their two toughest games will be at the Horseshoe at Michigan and at Washington, and they have a home day against USC. So
Yeah. I mean, it'll be an interesting. It'd be interesting to see them play because they have a lot of transfers from Iowa State. How is that going to impact play in the Big Ten? Because obviously, the teams in the yes, they avoid the top teams because of the level of competition. So, we'll see. I mean, hey, we're going in a different direction. I mean, we all noticed some of the Astros the head coaching search, and so we'll just have to see how that plays out. I'm not quite sure where Penn State's going to finish. I don't think they're up there with an Oregon, and
They have. I was looking at the initial poll. Penn State's number 15 in the nation right now, but the other three teams are definitely above them. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, you and I want to talk some baseball. We had talked about that because in 17 days the trading deadline starts, and of course, I think it's. I think the contenders will try to make a very active trading deadline, but the sellers will have a lot to do with it. Right now, I read the Athletic every day, and they said there's only 6 teams really that need to sell. But within the next week and a half, a lot of things can change. Teams can come off the break and play terrible. Like Boston Red Sox, who had a 9-game winning streak going into yesterday, they started off great again. They're up to an 11-game winning streak. So they were sellers about 2 weeks ago, and now they may be the buyers or stay at put and see what they can do for their fans. Yes, and they have a few to trade, but if they do that, they're going to really bottom out their farm system to be really in trouble in years coming up. Like I said, if you trade Gage Wood, that's, in a great world, you're thinking 2028 Gage Wood slides into the rotation to take the retiring Zach Wheeler's place. So it's a double-edged sword. And like I said, you got to make sure if you trade Gage Wood or something like that, that you have it, get the part that you need and that you can use. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, a year ago now, we were watching Aiden Miller get hot at Double A and then took his crap to Triple A and the season on a really high note, 50 plus stolen bases. Was hitting 270 plus and had great power. And you thought for sure sometime this year he was going to make an impact on the Phillies. It didn't happen. And we only know what's going to happen. If there is baseball next year, we only know if Aiden Miller will be swinging the bat next year because backs are tricky, and we have heard hardly anything from the Phillies brass with Aiden Miller. And I heard a couple of talk show hosts nationally and Philadelphia wise regionally said you can't trade Aiden Miller because you're going to get pennies on a dollar. So you might just keep him. Go ahead. Three years, 4 years. Yeah, Dave Dombrowski did that a little bit to himself, giving those lavish contracts to our former right fielder Nick Castellanos, and then of course the above just mentioned our boy Taiwan Walker. He had $38 million tied up and got nothing for the $38 million, and that's not conducive to winning baseball. So he,
Yeah, right. And I think, Jack, I agree with that 100%. I mean, the only thing I'd say with that is that those were locked in at 2 or 3 for
yes,
those payments stayed pretty stable over a period of time. So, I think that really what, look, when you look at it, I mean, hindsight's 2020, but really, I mean, by no means are you out of luck. No doubt, Brad Beasley overstayed his welcome, right? That contract pays that probably the worst of the bunch. I mean, listen, I love JT Real. Good guy, great defensive end, but 15 million for 2 more years after this is ridiculous. It seems, I just don't think he really. It was surprising because I just don't think he was in or maybe he was out of line, but he does a lot of waiting around, and that's not the way Major League Baseball works anymore.
I think like you said, he didn't improve along the margins. Like I said, you had somebody like Walker Bueller. Like I said, you knew what he was. Caleb Kaufman knew what he was, and he could have been seventh on your depth chart. You could have still had Painter as your fifth starter if he performed well, but if not, you had somebody like him to fall back on. And he's starting for the Padres. He's not pitching great, but he's serviceable, and that's what the Phillies needed, and they still need. So the big debate is I'm going to interrupt just for a second is the bullpen, because just face it, the last three off postseason the bullpen has failed them miserably. The Arizona series up 2-0, and maybe Rob Thompson had a little bit to do with it. Using Craig Kimbrell in the fourth inning in the third game, and he was running out of gas, and then using other parts that didn't work, and he brought Hoffman in game six to try to win the series right then and there, and the game tying single, and then the stolen base, and then we had game seven, and the Phillies didn't hit. So between the bullpen and basically the hitters, it just didn't work for the Phillies the last three postseason, because I was down to game one when Zach Wheeler 2 years ago pitched 7 innings of 3-hit shutout ball against the Mets, and two all-star relievers at that time, Hoffman and Strom. 7 batters later, it was 4-3, and they still had two guys on base, and they got one out. So I think the bullpen probably is their top priority right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously Jeff's style suits you. I mean, I know he'll pitch great on this one, but you like to. Right now, I still think it's Jonathan Nolan and Duran that are. I would trust in high pressure situations. We all know that's not going to cut it. I think if you put Ryan Spritzner in there in sort of the seventh inning spot, he has not necessarily proved to be that guy in the high pressure situation who's going to report it out for you. Throughout his career. So, yeah, they have a lot of work to do in the bullpen, and we're probably talking 2 pieces.
Two pieces at least. At least two.
Yeah, two or three. I mean, because they don't really have a reliable lefty. I mean, Tanner Banks fell off a cliff. Jose Alvarado is certainly a different pitcher. After he came back from the PED stuff, and they made their signings. I mean, of all the relievers, Amola was a trade, but they really sort of struck out on all their free agent reliever signings.
Yeah, it's been a bad offseason except for Kyle Schwarber. And they do need one more outfielder or first baseman or third baseman or whatever, another stick in that lineup. And to me, it can be righty or lefty. It doesn't matter to me, because you face more right-handed pitching and you do left-handed pitching. So just got to find another hitter in that lineup, because the lineup as it's constructed is either hot or very cold more often than not.
Yeah, and I mean, you now mentioned, look, in the simplest of terms, you're talking about a starting pitcher, two relievers, and a bat. And you have Gage Wood
And one intangible he brought was a lot of energy, and that's what I liked about Harrison Bader. You know, yeah,
I just think Dombrowski really did not have a good offseason, and look, he's got to correct it, or else I'm definitely concerned about the second half of the year for the Phillies.
yeah.
The margins for error, Jack, is so small. If you need to win, you basically need Wheeler, Sanchez, and Luzardo to win.
5 out of every 6 starts. Yeah, you're right. I was going to say 5 out of every 6 starts twice around to give you 5 wins, and then you got to hope and pray that you can get 1 or 2 from somewhere else. I am encouraged by Aaron Nola as a 4/5 starter. His last 4 out of 5 outings, 3 runs or less, and he has the home run ball, but that was even when he was good. So Aaron Nola can be my 4th or 5th starter, but I still need one more. So we'll see what happens there. Judah, I mentioned to you last night, like I said, the NFL is starting, very shortly. Eagles are like 9 days away from training camp, and we'll be watching. And I did a little homework last night. Mentioned to you about starting quarterbacks in the NFL. If you really go down about 15 spots, there's really 15 really good quarterbacks. One network had Drake May as their best, Stafford second, Goff third, Love fourth. And then you go to Mahomes, Burns, Jackson, Caleb Wilson, Prescott, Darnold, Hurts, and Purdy, and those in that order. And Herbert was ranked about 5 spots below them, and Jalen Daniel was the MVP Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. So there's a bunch of really good quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think like, the NFL goes in spurts, right? I just think I would agree with you. I just think though that as a release nowadays, we do typically over exaggerate some players, to make them like where they are. Like for example, I look at it, I'm like, okay, Joe Burrow, Allen, Matthew Stafford, like those guys, yeah, they're fantastic quarterbacks. But Drake May, and look, I think the jury's still out on Drake May. I think it is sort of funny in the fact that you got a guy who made it to a Super Bowl. Obviously, it was a non-competitive Super Bowl. They lost. The amount of love that he's getting on 1 year playing schedule that was one of the easiest in the NFL, and benefiting from the Broncos having their starter out. I'm not sure if I want to put Drake May in this category. They have a very difficult schedule to start. They open up at Seattle in a rematch. I'm not sure I like Drake May in this conference.
I agree with you there. I just went with Sports Nation, how they had him ranked, and AJ Brown will help them. But like I said, how much help we don't know yet. So there's just a plethora of really good quarterbacks, and for the Eagles, it's going to start with Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts can play conquer this new offense, I think the Eagles will have a very really good offensive year, unless their offensive line breaks down with injuries. If their front 5 can stay intact, I think the Eagles' offense will be as good as anyone's.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that the combination of certain, right? I mean, like number one, Eagles' offense for years really targeted. Once again, and you can make for a variety of reasons. I mean, you win the Super Bowl, Kellen Moore, goes. There's limited people to interview, blah blah blah. The offense itself is not very inventive, and then of course the injuries. I mean, yeah, that front 5. I mean, they were banged up. I mean, a lot of it was okay. Lane Johnson's always banged up. I mean, Durbin, Dickerson, I mean, they're all banged up. So their help will go a long way. And look, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, 2 very underrated players. But Tyler Seaton, I mean, where does he fit? I mean, obviously he's not he's a contributor, but he wasn't a starter in the Eagles Super Bowl team. That was a trifecta. And he's okay, but I don't think he was anything to say, hey, this guy's all pro. So yeah, how they perform is going to dictate probably how the offense.
And the Eagles have a lot of new wide receivers. They picked one up from the Packers. Of course, Lemon was picked their number one pick, and of course Hollywood Brown. So you got a number of receivers to take Mr. AJ Brown's spot, and I would say opening day it will be probably Wicks and our first round pick along with and with Smith. They'll be the three wide receivers in the 13 package, and if you go to double tight end, you got Stovers who by a lot of media's accounts could be another Zach Ertz.
Which is very frustrating. So, yeah, I mean, I do think they're going to be. I'm not as concerned about the wide receiver as much, just because I think they, have another weapon in the tight end with Bowers. I think he did a good job of getting depth in that wide receiver. Hollywood Brown, as well as drafting. So, yeah, and I think Jay Jalen Hurts is going to have a good year. I mean, I really do. I think that he does the best down there.
Yes, I agree.
Everybody jumps off the Jay. To be honest with you, like, if this was Rick Pitt,
Well, the problem with Jalen Hurts is his stoic personality, and people can't gravitate to him, so they really put him down. Basically, everybody loves to have a leader that's quite charismatic and all that, but Jalen's Jalen, and like you said, when the two Super Bowls when he had to play, you couldn't have two better Super Bowl performances, and mostly throughout the playoffs. Last year was the exception, but like I said, I think everybody, with Kevin Patullo with being the offense coordinator, and then Nick getting involved, it was just a mismatch of things, just like 2 years previous that when they had Williams as their offense coordinator. So Jalen needs tough love, I think, like anybody else, and if you can explain something to him that means something that's going to make him better, like their new offense coordinator, Coach Mannion, I think it's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, like, let's not forget, Jack. I mean, I understand all that stuff, but if A.J. Brown catches the ball he's supposed to catch, they probably win that game.
Yes.
And they probably move on to the next game and he goes after them. I mean, and for some reason, he's not held Brown.
Accountable. Yeah, I just remember the Denver game when they were in complete control and they got the ball back near midfield at home, and first carry was like for 7-8 yards, and then second down, A.J. Brown unnecessarily, like his mind wasn't into it, procedure penalty. Changed the whole game plan, and Denver got the ball and scored 2 touchdowns late in the game. Yeah.
Don't forget, I mean, that was the game before, or that game before he had asked for a trade. So,
Right.
I mean, and the Eagles did, I mean, obviously they were
Yes. And 2 more minutes before we let you go. Defense, I think, should be real strong. Safety position is going to be what everybody's looking at in camp. their acquisition of Michael Carter from the Jets. He's going to be first on the depth chart to start the season. If the Eagles go base, of course, Cooper DeJean moves over, but you only play your base defense about 15% of the time. So Cooper DeJean will be in the corner, the slot back where he should be, and they got two outstanding corners right now. That's going to make the defense a lot better with their acquisition from the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm gonna let you go and get you to work outside and see if you can beat the raindrops. Okay, thank you for coming along with me. Okay, talk to you soon. Okay, bye bye. Jude Sant does a great job for me every week. It happens to be my godson also. We've lived a long life together and very knowledgeable. And when it comes to Philadelphia sports, so we're going to give Bruce Nagy a call very shortly and get Bruce on a half hour early to make room for Mark Woodringrich at 10:30. Bruce will be coming on right now, very shortly. It's a cloudy day out here in the Lehigh Valley. I think we're going to see a lot of raindrops, and I think the Phillies and Met game is going to be, see what happens there. Good morning, how are you? All right, it's going to be one of these stormy days, and the only good thing about the storms is it's going to clear out the smog from up north in Canada. I think so. I think you're correct. Postponed it. Yeah, that's one of the drawbacks of a balanced schedule. A lot of teams just come in one time now, and everybody's hamstrung by the union a little bit to make a date up. The Phillies and Mets, there's no way they should have been playing Thursday night. And I can't believe 40,000 people braved those elements to come out to see a lackluster Philly 4-1 loss. So I'm not sure. There was a big event at the Link last night. That's probably sold out. And one of the agreements with the way back was you couldn't have an event at the Link that was going to draw 70,000 people and have a possible 45 more thousand at the bank. So that may have been where you could be correct. The schedule wasn't out yet, or ESPN just wanted a baseball game that Thursday night to lead off the second half. So nobody has really explained it. They said they thought about postponing it, and yesterday the weather was a little bit better. The sun was out, but like I said, it was still very humid. And like I said, I was in and out yesterday. I'm planning to just stay in today. My car might just not get out of the garage. It's starting to pour right now. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But like I said, we'll talk a little baseball right now, then we'll go into football. But we're about 14 days away from the trading deadline, August 3rd to be exact. 2 weeks from this Monday at 6 o'clock in the evening. Nobody knows if it's going to be an active day or not, because there's a team called the Boston Red Sox who are dead in the water 11 games ago, and now they're on a 11-game winning streak, and a number of their players were supposedly up for trade, and I'm sure if they keep on winning, they can't pull them back, because Red Sox season ticket holders and fans in general will go ballistic. You'd really have to get a ton for them. That's how I see it. I consider it, but it better be to my liking. I think they mentioned in the Athletic, Jerry Dipoto, AJ Preller, and Dave Dombrowski are the three general managers under the gun to see what they do with this trading deadline, because you just mentioned the Padres just being a little bit out. Mariners, they're in first place, slight by the skin of their teeth, or they may be trailing Texas by a game. They're another team that. Go ahead. What? They woke up. They can hit the ball. Yeah, it's going to be really back and forth, and I always find that day very exciting. But like the last 2 years, it seems like a lot of teams have been proactive and started making trades a week before, 3, 4, 5 days before, and the day comes, and still you see a number of trades, but you don't see the blockbusters. I still remember as a youngster. When there wasn't a sports talk radio, there weren't websites and all that. June 15th was the trading deadline. And waking up to on June 16th, and I don't know how I got the news or whatever, that the Phillies traded highly touted left-hander Tommy Underwood to the St. Louis Cardinals for Arnold Dick McBride at 11:59. Paul Owens said, they they weren't on TV, but it was an exciting time. Just reading newspapers those days. That's how we got our information. And of course, it used to be, like I said, the midnight. It was a midnight deadline, and it was just a different game years ago. And some great trades were made June 15th. I saw that. Yeah, you must have. I was thinking the same way you were. Go ahead. Wow. Red Sox. Yes. But wow. Exactly. It's the bottom line. That's life. If you want to call, like I said, everybody's worried about their bottom line. Like I said, to provide for their own families in the easiest way possible. But like I said, it's going to be. No, I just think a lockout or a strike is going to be very detrimental to the game. I remember 1994 succinctly, and like I said, it took steroids and other things, balls that were juiced to get the Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire to get the attention back of the American public. But like I said, I having season tickets, I look around and I see so many young kids with their parents enjoying a game of baseball at the bank.